Alright guys, it's Anthony, your Subaru Service. CJ's truck here. Damn, you can't see nothing because of that freaking light. Okay, we got a coolant leak. And the squeal, it's actually not a bad, this is not a bad truck. It'll be alright. But the squeal that you hear at startup, okay, a lot of you guys probably hear that, but the squeal at startup is a unison ring inside the turbo. I've seen it a lot. So it just needs a turbo clean, or something is, the unison ring is binding up. Every time you start it, oil pressure hits the actuator arm and spins the unison ring, and there's a squeak in there. So that's why you keep hearing that only at startup. I don't think I would go in for it. You know, I mean, we can, but I mean, it's annoying, but I would wait and get a moment when we actually have to take the turbo off, like maybe a Y pipe failure or something like that. It would be a lot more cost efficient. Coolant leak though, okay, I can see where it's leaking. Let me get underneath here. Hey, what's up? Hang on. Okay, I can see the leak. Let me turn the flash on. You can see right here, it's been leaking. Okay, I think it's got gold in it. It's been leaking. All right, now, one thing I don't know, it obviously has got freeze plugs or welded up EGR cooler. So, let me see if I can get up in here. Hang on just a second, let's see. Now, I'm wondering if the EGR cooler is actually leaking. There was a little bit of wetness. The EGR cooler inlet is right there. Well, you can't really, I got it zoomed in. EGR cooler's right there. You can kind of see some residue coming down the rear cover a little bit. The problem with the gold is, hang on, let me zoom out. The problem with the gold is if you have a leak, it doesn't leave as good of a trail as red. If you have a leak with red coolant, it will absolutely mushroom up. It'll, you will see where it's coming from. Okay, but what I've got right now, I'll go ahead and make this video right now. Look at the gauge. Oh, let me turn the flash off. Look at the gauge. Okay, I'm back down. If you look at the upper rat hose, I'm back down. I pressurized it too. I had it pressurized for a minute, and I wasn't getting anything coming out, but it's back down right now. If you look down in here, let me get up in here. Hang on just a second. Okay, now we got a turbo bolt missing, which whatever, that's fine. But you can look right there and see inside the pedestal bolt right there that it's wet. And then when I got here and I had it pressurized, there was just a little glistening going on right at the oil cooler connection here to the blue hose. Just a little bit. I didn't see nothing back on the back there. It looked pretty dry. But it does kind of look like, with that hole being wet there and with a little bit of just glistening wet along that joint, very possibly could be a little bit coming from this hose here. Which on this hose here, we could use the OEM hose that twist locks on. It's got O-rings on it. That hose actually is quite a bit more superior than the hose clamps, which that's arguable, but this flange is really small. Like there's no lip or anything on the nipple coming out of the oil cooler. So, you know, on something like this, I would put the OEM hose on it, because that would, I mean, I don't know, that's just what I would do. The heater control valve doesn't look too bad right here. I mean, I don't really see any absolute indications. And the heater core tubes look all right. Does not look like the ficum is hitting, let me see. Does not look like the ficum is hitting the, well, maybe it is. But the leak is kind of looking more pronounced on the passenger side, but who knows. Basically, like here, let's look at it again. It's been a minute or two. It's not going down. See, the pressure's not going down, so, but that's vacuum pressure. So let's hang on just a second and I'll throw. The problem is my cap, my ghetto freaking cap that I've made here does not seal tight, so I can't pump it up. I mean, I've got the little cheesy freaking air pump deal that you can thread on. I guess I could use that, but I just don't trust it. I'd rather, vacuum works really good. to fill with, but it's not going down at all. It's not moving for vacuum. So what we're going to do, I'll go ahead and switch it out. Hang on. Okay, here you go. I'll hook this hose up here, and then we can turn the regulator up. You can feel the upper rat hoses. There's nothing in it, which you can't tell how hard I'm squeezing it. But we'll pump it up to about, let's see, 7, 8 pounds. We'll go 9 pounds. 9 pounds stiffens up that hose pretty freaking good. I know we could go higher, but I really don't like aimlessly stressing the end caps on the radiator and all the connections and all that. I mean, we don't know. I have not driven this to see. We do have a little bit splashing around here, but you got to remember this had a coolant. They've probably been adding coolant to it, so probably that's just spillage. You can see how it doesn't seal, right? Whatever, my ghetto freaking cap. Who cares? It'll be fine. But now at least I have compressed air feeding that, holding it at 7 pounds. So I'm not going to be able to put a specified amount of air into the cooling system and let it stay there. I can just keep the supply, and now I can look for the leak, physically look for it, because I know that the coolant, the air is there. Now, that connection right there, what we're going to do, yep, see it glistening right there? See it glistening? Got that little spot right at the end of the clamp. Right there. See that? Now granted, the truck is warm. I warmed it up, so I've got a little bit of temperature at it. Things act different at operating temperature. So I can actually smell a little bit of coolant too. Which makes me question. It's gonna be kind of a long video, isn't it? Kind of looking for witness marks. See, you can't really see much back at the back. Maybe I can go here. Hang on. Yeah, like down there. Okay, how nasty? I can't really see my phone. I don't know how nasty that looks. Not sure if it actually is showing any indication of leaking, but it's possible that it could be leaking. But we would normally have smoke, steam. If it was leaking from there, it's going to get into the exhaust as well, unless we got some kind of external leak dripping out of the actual EGR cooler itself. That's about as close as I can get because of the downpipe. Kind of looking for it to drip. Oh, that glistening mark dried up. I don't see it no more. Or wait. It's not really focusing very good. Now, we don't have, I don't think anything was concerning about the front, like a coolant pump or anything like that, or radiator. We'll get down there here in a second and look, but I mean, a lot of it is just pointing to that EGR cooler. Either the freeze plug's welded into the EGR cooler, possibly it's leaking from the nipple. Let me lift this up here. Can you see it? No, I can't get down there enough. The nipple right there. See that rust residue right there? That rust residue is where the nipple of the EGR cooler goes in, where coolant runs in. It's not far-fetched that it's leaking there. It really is not. Let me go down a little more, see if I can. Yeah, maybe I ought to get the bore scope out. Hang on just a second. Okay, so here you go. Wonder if I'm zoomed out. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is look in here, right there. This picture, for this borescope, picture sure could be a lot better. Oh, I moved it. Hang on. Okay, now I got pressure at it, about 7 pounds. And I'm looking at the nipple. I mean, generally like a donut gasket or something like that would leak on the front of the engine, but nothing is given. Let's see, who knows? Let's see if it'll focus. Oh. I don't know about you guys, I mean that looks pretty dry. Of course I'm looking at the back side, so, but if it was from the front side it would be. Okay, another thing we can do is look at the hose. Bear with me here. Hang on, let me get a good picture, hang on. Okay, that is the back side of the hose. I got it back behind it, looking at it. So, let's look at the ground if we can. It's really awkward to get this to actually see anything. Bear with me here, guys, hang on. Hang on, all right, hang on. Ooh, there's a good picture of the donut gasket. I don't know if you can see it very well on the picture, but on the screen it looks very deteriorated. Not sure if this was reused or not, if this donut gasket was reused, but it looks deteriorated. It doesn't look like clean rubber. Those do deteriorate. It has a little bit of glistening to it too, a little bit of like it could be coolant. That's the connection. Let me see if I can park it and be able to show it to you. Okay, hang on, let me get my bearings. This is the front cover, this is the intake. Yeah, hang on. All right, now look at this, guys. Okay, it looks like a trail. Oh, I'm trying to move my phone over like I'm gonna see it. All right, I got the camera looking sideways now. I'm on the sideways side of it, but it looks like there's a trail going down the oil cooler. A little bit of trail. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. See that darkness? Looks like a trail going down the oil cooler housing. See that discoloration? See, it runs all the way down. Oh, I'm looking up like, I keep forgetting I'm looking at a screen here. I don't know if you can see that, if it's picking it up, but see how it's kind of wet down there? All right, so I mean, you can make your own mind up on what you think it is. I mean, I would think that rubber hose. We also got a deteriorated donut gasket a little bit. So, I mean, as far as a catastrophic, I'm not seeing a big leak, but I'm sure when things get up to operating temperature, things change. So who knows how it reacts when it's actually, you know, hot and coolant's running through it and you're driving it. You know, just it, I don't know. Hang on. All right, well, Dan, we got a different truck here, so I guess that video's over. All right, guys, have a good day.